guys, welcome back to Let's Code, a Windows Store app. In this episode I'm going to add some interaction to the puzzle. So let's get started. The first thing I'd like to do is add a click event to the sprite. CreateJS has a special function to do that, the on function, and we pass it the name of the event we are trying to capture and a function. And this should be called when we click on a sprite. I place it inside the for loop, so the event is attached to each and every sprite in the collection. Let's add some dummy code to see if it works. And add a breakpoint and run the code. And there we go. In the breakpoint. Now this at this point this keyword will be the sprite the user has clicked on, which is very handy in this case, because when I click, the default rotation is 90 degrees. So at this point, when I click, I want to set the rotation to 0 degrees. And let's run again. And nothing happens. And that's because I have to update the stage when something changes. Now, as you can see, the sprites seem to move to the right. And this is because every sprite is rotated around its own top left corner, the 0, 0 position of each sprite. To correct this, there's a point you can define on the sprite, which is used to position the sprites and to rotate around. Let's get back to the code. When creating the sprites, I'm going to set the regx value to be half the width. Now the width we have calculated earlier. The size is the height too. So let's use that on the x value, and the reg y value is going to be the same, so it's the center of the sprite. Let's see what happens. Rotation is okay now, but the sprites seem to have moved a bit. So to correct that, I'm going to add the same distance to the x and y values of the sprite. As you can see, the sprites are positioned correctly for this moment and rotate correctly. And the puzzle is a bit too easy this way. So what I'd like to do is rotate the sprite above, below, left and right of the sprite you clicked to its 90 degree position if it's at 0 position, and to its 90 degree position when it's 0. So it will flip when it's clicked. Let's add a special function to do that. Function calculate rotation, and we have to pass it the alt rotation. If the old rotation is equal to 0, return 90, and else we return 0. We can use this for every sprite we're going to rotate. In this case, default rotation, we call a function and pass it disciplined rotation. Let's see if it works. For one sprite. To get the other sprites to rotate, we first have to get to that sprite. I added the sprites to a linear array of 49 elements. So somehow I have to get to the right position. The sprites on the left and the right are pretty easy to get. That would be the instance, which is the total collection of sprites. The index -1 will be the sprite on the left. Rotation equals, in this case, copy that and copy that, and the sprite on the right will be pretty much the same. This is not right. I will change along the way. We have to get the index of the sprite we're clicked on at the moment. It's clicked, otherwise I will be always 49. So the index of this, and instead of using I can use the index now. Let's see if this works. It's not what I expected, but it seemed to work. Instead of left and right, it's rendered the other way around. But as soon as I click, these two are rotated along with the center one. Now when I'm at the edge, you should see that the top will change. So we have to catch if the index is so we have to check if the index is at the border of the puzzle. So let's see if we can get that. If the index, the one we clicked on, -7, is equal or larger than 0. That's what's wrong. To get the left and the right, I think we have to do it like this. And for the other one, smaller than 49. Let's see what this does. That's what I was expecting. Now at the edge, as you can see, only the edge pieces are rotated. To get the top and the bottom pieces to work, I have to get the modulus 7, and if that's larger than 1, I should be able to instance let me think. Yes, in this case we have to do the -1 rotation equals that -1. Let's copy that again. If this is smaller than 6, we get one left. Yes, I think this should work. Run again. And it's not. I made it. Oh, wait. A small typo. And let's run again. Let's see if it works now. Yes, that was I was going for. Now it's starting to look like a puzzle you can solve. Let's see if it works a bit. As you can see, it starts to get pretty hard to get the puzzle to look right. Well, that's about it for this episode. Next time I would like to add some animations to the rotation to have them rotate smoothly. I hope to see. Maybe I'll change the image too. I'm starting to dislike this image. Oh well. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again next time. See ya!